Welcome to A Shot of Ag. I'm your host, Rob Sharkey. You ever gone out into the woods and find stuff to eat? Mushrooms, morels, I don't know, alligators, who knows, all this stuff, right? Do you know what's good and what's not? Well, our guest does, Cate Meade from Arlington Heights. How you doing?
I'm well, Rob. How are you doing?
You ever find an alligator out there?
No, only in Florida in the south.
You're from Arlington Heights up there by Chicago. That's where you live now,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. We had you on last week. We talked all about how you were a contestant on MasterChef with Gordon Ramsey.
Yep.
Thousands, tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 people went out. You went down to number 4.
Yeah.
Something to be incredibly, incredibly proud of.
Yes.
And you did it by wowing Gordon Ramsay with stuff that you grew, you knew how to cook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's he liked your venison.
He liked my venison,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I did, like, when there was an opportunity to bring something from, that I was familiar with in the wild, I was like, ooh, can we get this? Or, what's in season?
Well, let's go back to when you're growing up. Let's go back to like when you would go hunting with your dad. You went, what, turkey hunting?
That was the first thing I started hunting, yeah, turkey, pheasant, and quail.
Yeah. And you said that your dad's an amazing person, but maybe not the greatest turkey hunter.
Oh, yeah. To this day, he's not a good turkey hunter. But thankfully, I got better at turkey hunting for us.
Yeah.
And so he's a better hunter through me now.
But when you were hunting and not finding any turkeys to shoot, you would start looking around for other stuff?
Yes. So, when you start out hunting, and especially to younger years, you don't expect to just go out and harvest everything, or big animals. And so there's just a lot of, low points, and it's a good lesson to learn in life. But when I was at those low lows, after like waking up 3 days in a row at 4 a.m., probably earlier, to get to our stand at 5 because we had to drive an hour.
Oof.
So 3 days of that at like 10 or 11, you're low. So they would take me out and finding morels. So we'd take a bucket and look for elm trees and then just find loads of them, and it would take all the gloomies away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love, my wife and I, one of our favorite things to do is to go shed hunting. So when the deer drop their antlers, we go shed hunting. And I'm decent.
Yeah.
And Emily's good too. Morels, we can't find them. If a morel was right here, I couldn't find it.
It's just one of those things, like every year it happens to me, and it's just one of these things where you have to train your eye, and it's almost like once you find a morel, I've passed morels 10 times and then just bent down and looked, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then once you see that one, they all start popping out, because like the spring, there's colors from the old leaves, and then there's all this new growth of green foliage coming everywhere. And so it's just colors. And then like sometimes the stalks are lighter, sometimes the stalks are higher, sometimes the caps are darker. They might be black morels or yellow morels. So you just have to like wait till that day and that moment where you can actually see how it works with the...
Have you seen that they sell glasses?
Yeah.
They're supposed to make you see them easier.
I think there is some truth to that, because you can, with just like the lens, some colors will pop more than others, So I think it just helps dull some colors and maybe highlight some others.
So with the morels, do you like the bigger ones or little ones?
I'm not picky when I find morels. I like them all, but typically the older ones have like more bugs and might be a little
earthier. Yeah. Now, do you find one? I've heard two different things. Like you pluck them straight up or cut them. I don't know. What do you do?
The thing is with all mushrooms, they're fruiting bodies of the mycelium. So it's like, think of an apple tree, and the apples are the fruiting bodies. Okay. So by picking it, you're not actually causing harm unless you're, ripping it out, like, and breaking off, damaging of the tree, which would be in the mushroom sense, the mycelium, which is like
Oh,
the
of
roots.
course. Mycelium. Mycelium, you don't want to
Don't choke on it.
mess with that mycelium.
You don't want to mess with it. So the best thing to do is to, if you are going to pull it out of the ground, to just twist and not yank it, because you don't want to just disturb so much soil. So
Okay.
but besides that, like whether you cut it or, twist it out, I don't think it matters anything.
So you're a world-class chef, so I'm sure you're doing like
I did not say that.
Gordon did. Yes, you're doing stuff with it. But like for Frank that goes out there and finds a mess of morels, I mean, what do they use? Just like fry them up?
Yeah, just like hot pan. I like to, if they're big, slice them in half, It's also nice to slice them in half and see if there's any bugs, creepy crawlies in there. But just butter, pan. Some people, if you want to get crazy, you could add some garlic or some thyme. But that's just keeping it super simple. Just saute, add a little oil first so that you're not browning or burning your butter, but just simple.
Yeah.
The mushrooms will taste so good too.
I mean, morels are morels,
Yeah.
right? You can, but there's a lot of mushrooms out there in the woods that you can eat, but maybe shouldn't. Tell me, what was it? The spit and nibble or whatever.
Yes,
What is it?
You're good. The nib and spit.
Close enough.
Yeah, and I didn't coin the term or the process, but I might have shortened it. It might be the nibble and spit. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, it's just something you can do when you're an experienced mushroom hunter and you can identify which species of mushroom it is. You can do a nibble and spit. So for Lactarius, Russula, and boletes. So all of those mushrooms, if you can.
I
I know.
I'm just going to nod my head. I'm
Right,
like, oh
so that's
yeah,
where
the Belize.
if
yeah.
you can at least identify those, that it's like you can nibble on it and spit it out and there won't cause any harm, but it's going to give you a bitter taste or a spicy, peppery taste. And either of those things would be like, undesirable for a chef. But in certain countries like Eastern European, the Ukraine or Poland, they love to pickle those bitter mushrooms and it draws the bitterness out of them.
Okay. So
they're not like toxic. So it's just like,
you go through the woods, you take a mushroom, you don't know if you can eat it, you nibble it.
Nibble on, with those taste buds of Gordon Ramsey, get that all in your palate, distinguish, if it's peppery, spicy,
Yeah.
or if it's just like mild, then if it's mild, it's good.
Okay.
Put it in the basket.
So you got morels, you got, what's a chicken of the woods? That's, you
Chicken
hear
of the
people
woods.
that?
Yes, beautiful mushroom.
It's orange, isn't it?
Orange, yeah, associated with oak trees. There's Lactarius sulphureus, which is has a yellow underbottom.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one, I can't think of it for some reason. It'll come to me in a second.
Is there one that's a definite no-no? You're going to be seeing Alice in Wonderland type of thing?
The death cap.
The death cap.
Yeah, also the deadly Galerina. It's not good.
I would stay away from those two.
Yeah. Yeah. There's with mushrooms, it's just something where you have to get to know them, and it's not like something that you're like, oh, I need to take this home and eat it. It's just like, hey, see it every once in a while, and get to know it, take it home, do a spore print, and then you see where it's growing, see what it's associated with, maybe what it's associated growing with, like other mushrooms, other trees, A lot of mushrooms are associated with trees, so in morels, you're looking for elm trees, not necessarily morels on the ground, so.
What about the puffballs?
Puffballs are so fun. So chicken of the woods and puffballs, I remember when I was little finding them and being like, no way.
They get huge.
Are edible. And they are, yeah.
Yeah, you just slice them up.
Slice them up. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the puffballs. I don't feel like they have a really great, the texture is very spongy, where it's not like a chewy, it's more spongy than I think. But you press it and kind of dry out all that moisture. And then you can get some texture on there, some crunchiness, and people will turn it into like pizzas or make it into like a flatbread kind of thing for the puffballs.
Okay.
But yeah. Oh yeah, I have a present for you.
What? Okay. What do we got here?
Part of your birthday gift. This is a lion's mane mushroom
Oh.
from Norsport. It's a happy birthday gift, but you're
My
going to take...
birthday was yesterday, but that's fine.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, well, thank you.
But you're going to take this home and you're going to grow mushrooms. So inside it comes with, we don't have to get it out, but inside it comes with a little spray bottle.
Okay.
You can see like little spray bottle on the side here.
Yeah.
I think it's right here. Well,
That's
somewhere
the
there.
wrong box.
No, it's in there, but the spray bottle is just a little tiny thing right here.
Okay.
And then you're going to cut this little square out and spray it. Then the directions are so easy on the back. It's open, slice, spray, harvest, and enjoy.
Ooh,
but
that
I know
sounds
it might be
bit
a little
much.
complicated for
Yes.
you, but you just spray it twice a day, and then you're going to grow these giant lion's mane mushrooms, and these are medicinal and super delicious. Like highly prized culinary mushroom, one of my favorites, and it's hard to be a favorite for mushrooms for me. But just an amazing texture, and then there's actually a lot of scientific studies too done on this.
Like what's it gonna cure?
It actually grows, maintains, and repairs nerve and brain cells.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So like speaking, like if I ever have like a brain, I take it almost every day. I try to. Like I'm not gonna say I take it every single day, but in a liquid form. Super good for cognitive memory. It's got nerve growth factor, NGF. That's what the studies have been done on. But it's good for mood, sleep, digestion. It's like one of those crazy mushrooms. You know, there's 5 mushrooms that are super medicinal for you, and it's reishi, cordyceps, lion's mane, turkey tail, and chaga.
Oh.
And
no death anything in those.
no.
Yeah.
But lion's mane is the only one that's super good eating out of all of those, you know. So it's just one of those rare mushrooms that it's just like, chef's kiss.
I could use that because I've already forgotten who you are.
Tell me about it.
Do you find that, I mean, if people have like woods in their backyard or are able to access woods, I mean, they've got to just be like constantly asking you questions like, what can I do? What can I eat?
All the time I get emails, text messages like, I found this mushroom, can I eat it? And that's like really their only concern is like, can I eat it? And I'm like, don't you want to know about it? Like it's
No.
I was like, that's a false parasol. It's like the one that's not edible, but like it's, you know, the parasols could be growing close, you know.
Tell me about the woman that you saved.
Which one?
From eating from eating a bad one.
Oh yeah, she was trying to eat a jack-o'-lantern. How funny is that? A jack-o'-lantern mushroom. It's called, and it's an orange mushroom. And she thought it was a chanterelle.
Oh.
And chanterelles grow mycorrhizally, which means in the ground and associated with trees, but not on trees. And the jack-o'-lanterns grow on dead or decaying wood. And they also have gills, and then the chanterelles have false gills. So there's just so many little tricky, you know, things that you just really have to be paying attention to. And that's like Mother Nature, you know.
You do realize that you just light up when you're talking about fungus.
I know. Well, it's exciting because there's just so many little things, you know, where it'll try to catch you, and kill you. But it's also delicious. But if you just know those little things, you know, so it's like, I guess they are kind of like they're meant to trick some people by the eye, by the color, you know what I mean? But you need to use all of your instincts, like kind of like with
wants
hunting
to kill you.
and foraging. Yeah, it all comes together.
Do you hunt much?
I do. I love hunting. I love fishing. I love foraging. The closer I can get to my food source and know the beginning stages, the better I'm going to be as a chef, the better I'll understand the ingredients, the more I respect it. So many life lessons have come from growing and harvesting my own food. And then the fact that it's like, you know, my medium, so to speak, my tools.
Hey, it's what you truly enjoy.
It's what I enjoy.
You can tell.
Hey, thanks for seeing that.
When somebody sits in that chair, you can tell when you ask them something and they get that look in their eye and it's like, but that is... Well, I wasn't going to say that,
honey,
but yeah.
I can. It's okay.
But that is what their true passion is.
I do love it, and thank you for seeing that.
What are you hunting?
I'm in the Midwest, so everything in the Midwest, if it's close to me, I wanna get to know it and
eat it.
And eat it. No, more in a respectful way though. Like I don't ever over harvest. I never want to like, goal is not like tagging out. It's just
Yeah.
to like get what I need, like, harvest for myself and my family. I love to share, everything,
Yeah.
it's like part of, I think, being a chef.
Well, I think you're fine on deer and turkeys and ducks, and you can shoot as many as you want.
In the Midwest, we're so blessed, right?
I think we're good there.
We're so good. But I haven't hunted any elk or moose yet. I really want to go out west. I want to start to explore a little bit more, but I only harvest anything I can eat. Like, I'm not going to hunt for sport or anything like
Elephant?
that. No
I
desire.
never got the safari thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, I think there's, in Africa, like a lot of hunters, basically support or
Yeah.
fund the fact that there are wild animals still, but it's, for me, is no desire.
Yeah.
I would rather donate to animals survive, you know what I mean? In this, donate to that same organization that they are, but I don't need to do it.
Everybody has their thing. I like the canned hunting. I don't know. It's if people want to do that, I guess it's.
No, I
that's
enjoy
their
the chase.
thing.
I enjoy the hard work, and I enjoy the reward of like the food. Like, I want to see
Yeah.
it.
Every time we shoot a deer and taste it, I'm like, why don't I shoot more of these?
They're so good, especially again, we are so lucky in the Midwest because people don't.
Yeah,
No.
we have hunters that come in from Virginia, and they'll bring some of their venison. It tastes horrible.
Yeah.
They've been eating pine needles and stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does make a big difference.
I think you should look for some animal that nobody else can make taste good, and you should challenge. You should shoot a snow goose, and make it taste good. Maybe Asian carp, make it taste good.
I will. I can. I have done Asian carp before.
Really?
Yeah, and geese, goose.
Gooses. Well, I mean,
Gooses?
a Canada goose is good, but like those snows or Maganzer.
When it comes to like those like kind of foul tasting meats, soaking them or brining, but using a liquid brine either in milk. Milk has casein in it, which is like a milk fat or protein that will actually grab and take some of those foul odors that you smell and taste.
How do you know all this stuff?
Long.
This is what
I'm
you
old.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. But salt and then milk will help draw that out.
Tell me about cooking for your brother. He's a fireman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My brother's a fireman for the Chicago Fire Department. And from time to time, sometimes he does the cooking there too.
Yeah.
But they all have like, different shifts. Not one person's the cook. But I'll come in sometimes and just take over the kitchen. I go and shop the ingredients, kind of like what I do for my weekly clients. But I do a dinner for 12 firemen and then dessert. And they are so fun, like the camaraderie and just smack talking and
What?
but yeah, they're all, and then, sometimes they go on calls and it's just so cool to see them just fly into action and
Probably right when you get everything set in front of them.
one time it was like that where some of them, because not all of them have to go every time,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, they have different things. So one time there was a call that was right close to dinner. And then I just donated another to a fireman. It was another fireman charity where I'm going to do that too. So I'm going to
that's
show up
cool.
to a different
Yeah.
firehouse like in Chicago, somebody that I don't know who it hasn't happened yet. So,
Yeah.
some lucky winner.
You talk about like your clients. So you are cooking for private, right?
Yeah. So I have clients that I do like dinner parties for, sometimes on like repeat, like on every year. But I do cook for a few clients on a weekly basis in home where I shop the groceries, show up to their house and prepare 4 meals for them and then clean up, label, store, and
So they
fly out
want
of
to
there.
eat good once a week. They
No,
give you a
it's like
call.
for the whole week, but I
Oh,
come
I
one
gotcha.
time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. And do you enjoy doing that?
I
Going
love
into other
that
people's
because-
houses?
I love it, yeah.
Do you look through their stuff?
No, not at all.
Like
No,
their
and some of
medicine
these clients
cabinet?
have been, with me forever and not forever, but so to speak, a long time. And the fact that I get to nourish them and they enjoy my food, I can hear their feedback and all of the things. I like love their dogs and you know, their everything, every animal, or you know, just them in general. I enjoy them. If I didn't, I wouldn't go back.
You're a chef, obviously a good one. I mean, I always wonder, because everybody's tastes are different, right? Something that I
Definitely.
think is the most amazing food in the world, other person will absolutely hate. Does it hurt your feelings when you go to a lot of work with stuff and they're like, no?
No, I mean, no, it doesn't hurt your feelings. I think chefs are their own hardest critics. So if you know something is wrong and somebody calls you out on it, it's like, you know, something you already knew. But if somebody has a different opinion that is due to their lack of a good palate, I mean, I can't take offense to that. Yeah, this is not enough experience, or they don't, you know, they don't maybe like those flavors, you know.
Yeah.
But no offense taken.
How far will you go?
How far?
What happens when you get a family here in Peoria that says, come down and cook for me?
Oh, I travel, so there is no distance I won't travel as long as you
really?
pay for the travels. Yeah.
What if a family
I
in New
love it.
Zealand?
I traveled on tour. I go to hunt clubs across the U.S., cooking for a bunch of guys or girls.
How do you get hooked up with that?
I love it just through what I do. People seeing, you know, I share a lot of hunting and wild game recipes, and have been doing it. But yeah, the word travels, and I've gotten to cook for a lot of cool people.
I have a hunt camp,
Hey, I'll come cook for you.
but our hunters are, honestly, they're not that bright. So I don't know if I want to subject you to that. Yeah.
No, I totally, that's the thing about, for me when I'm at hunt clubs, it's like being with the group of the firemen, you know, it's just like you're
Smack talking.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, for me, it's like home, you know, it's like if it wasn't like that, I'd be like, are you guys feeling okay? You know, let me get in there and stir some stuff up. But no, I love it. And the guys too, they're just like, who is this girl that can cook so good? She's, you know, and she's awesome to hang out with. You know, like a couple of times, like they've been shooting in the back, and I jump in with my chef clothes on, pew pew pew, and then jump back in. And it's like, is this my job? Somebody pinch me, you know?
Are you a good shot?
I mean, my dad would say yes. Yes, I am a good shot. I would say yes too, but no, I just did that. Yeah, I did.
Let's prove it.
I would love to prove it to you. Actually,
PBS would not.
No, they wouldn't.
No, we're just going to take
But
your word for it.
It's something I do like to practice a lot, and I've been doing it. My dad is he has like 2 shooting clubs that he goes to on a weekly basis.
Oh, really?
And sometimes I join him.
Well, if you could wave a wand and get whatever you wanted, what would you be doing in, let's say, 5 years?
Oh, I would have a huge farm with all the mushrooms and food, and I would have people coming and learning about how to grow certain things, how to cook it,
Yeah.
all of the wild things in the woods, and how to bring it all together into like one, like, ooh, how to preserve all these cherries, make, you know, pie and jam and all the things, dried mushrooms, and then, oh, I also brought you some ramp salt.
Was this stuff?
Yeah.
What is
Because
this?
we were talking about ramps. Ramps
Oh.
are like the alliums that grow in the spring. Remember you were telling me you smell them sometimes, I think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah, on a former interview.
Yeah. So you can,
Oh, yeah.
you can lick your finger and put it in there.
Yes,
and
I
then,
can.
Because it's yours.
I would do it if it wasn't mine.
Yeah, same.
You obviously don't watch a show.
But you can taste a little bit of onion.
It's like, well, oh, yeah, that's what it is. I was going to say garlic, but no, it's onion.
Yeah, well, it is like, they call it wild garlic too.
Yeah.
But Allium trichocum is that one, the broadleaf ramp.
Yeah. Now, if this is whiskey, they'd be over here. Yeah, I see you too. All right. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a finishing salt. It's Maldon salt, so it's not like, you know, it's got thicker flakes.
Yeah. Do I have it in my beard now?
No, you look great.
Okay. You do a good job with your social media too,
Oh,
which we
thank
didn't even
you.
talk about. But that goes along with the teaching and that. So if people want to follow you, where would they go?
A Wildwood Chef on all platforms, and wildwoodchef.com.
I encourage people to go follow her because we've only virtually met, I don't know, a month ago or whatever. But I've really enjoyed your stuff. And like I said, the feedback we got from the podcast, I was surprised at, because I figure a bunch of, hicks and farmers and all that, we knew all the woods, and everybody's like, well, can you eat this or whatever? Can she do this?
And you guys know a lot. You're constantly seeing you guys know your trees very well. And especially when they're down in your field.
Well, that we know.
No, but you're familiar, and you're familiar with all the plants, the seasons. Like, you guys get it. So some of my favorite students are farmers.
Yeah, well, you got a lot to learn. Cate Chef Meade.
I'm a student.
Thank you so much for being with us. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everybody else, we'll catch you next time. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to explore more of our local content. You can connect with us on our social media platforms, visit our website, or download and watch the free PBS app. We can't wait to see you next time on A Shot of Ag.